Hi kids, I want to start with a practice lesson with you, a review lesson about telling time. So to start, you'll see my face at first, hi, and I'll explain what I'm going to teach you, and then you'll start to see picture slides of the things that we're going to be learning. So the first lesson I want to do is over elapsed time. I'm going to use my iPad, we'll see if this works. It has a clock on it like that. If I hold it like this, I don't think you see any glare, but I will be moving the clock hands to help tell time with you. And then I'm going to put on some slides with questions about elapsed time and we'll go from there. So to start, I'm going to switch over to the other camera view so you can see my clock, and then we will begin. So to begin, I want to review with you very quickly how we tell time. If you look closely at my clock here, we know that the longer hand, this hand represents the minutes. We remember that by thinking mama minute. So if you remember, as I move this hand around my clock, this is my minute hand. It ticks by 1 minute at a time. My shorter hand is called the hour hand, and this hour hand ticks by much slower because it takes a whole cycle to go all the way around the clock. This will take 60 minutes to equal 1 hour. We remember hour by saying baby hour because the hour hand is much shorter. So if you remember that, we have mama minute, the longer hand, and baby hour. Okay, so let's think about what time it is on the clock right now. My hour hand, baby hour hand, is pointed in between the 11 and the 12. So don't get tricked. That means that it is still 11 o'clock. Okay, but we have to now look at our mama minute hand and see how many minutes it's been. To do that, we count by fives. So we can do that together. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So right now it's 11:45, even though our baby hour hand looks like it's on the 12. It's right before the 12. It's almost 12 o'clock. It's quarter till 12. Okay, now we've also talked about AM versus PM together. When we're thinking AM, that's in the morning time. So that would be right after midnight until noon, until lunchtime. Okay, when we're talking PM, PM is from lunchtime all the way until midnight. Okay, so we've done that practice together. I just wanted to quickly review to you the parts of a clock and how we tell time, AM and PM. Remember, this is baby hour, mama minute. Okay, we also have a second hand on some clocks that goes around much faster. It only takes 60 seconds to go around the entire clock. Okay, so we have those three different hands on our clock, but the ones we focus on the most is our hour hand and our minute hand. Okay, now that we've talked about that, we are going to see a problem about elapsed time, starting at one time and then switching to another one. Problem 1 states, school starts at 8:05 and lasts 7 hours and 30 minutes. What time does school end? This is a great example of an elapsed time problem. We start at 8:05 and will end 7 hours and 30 minutes later. To figure out this problem, we need to go back to the clock and add 7 hours and 30 minutes to 8:05 to see what time that we would get. And then we'll come back and compare it to these answer choices. To begin, I'm going to use this clock again. Now, notice I set our clock to say 8:05. If you look at the clock, this is baby hour. The baby hour is pointing a little bit past the 8. That's to show it's 8 o'clock and the minutes around the hour are very short. Okay, it's closer to 8 o'clock than it is to 9 o'clock. So I'm going to have 8 here, and then I'm going to use my mama minute, point that at the 1, because each one of these numbers represents 5 minutes when I'm talking about minutes on a clock. So it's 8, baby hour, 05, mama minute. Now I'm going to add 7 hours and 30 minutes to my clock. To do that, I'm going to use my hour hand first. So I'm going to take this hour hand and I'm going to move it from the 8 to the 9. That's 1 hour. 9 to the 10, 2 hours. 10 to the 11, 3 hours. 11 to the 12, 4 hours. 12 to the 1 o'clock, 5 hours. 1 to 2, 6 hours. 2 to 3, 7 hours. Now, to double check, you can lose track pretty easily because you're counting around the clock, but you also see numbers on that same clock while you're counting. So to keep you from being confused, I always remember, where did I start? I started at 8:05. So I'm going to go again and I'm going to double check my answer. This is baby hour. Let's see if baby hour is 7 hours past the 8. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do you see how baby hour is 7 hours now past the 8? Okay, now that I know that, I'm going to move to minutes. I went around the clock 7 hours with my hour hand. Now I'm going to click on Mama Minute, and I'm going to count 30 more minutes from that. So I know that each number on this clock represents 5 minutes. So I'm going to start counting now. Ready? It's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If you're smart, you noticed that while I was moving this hand, my hour hand was also moving. I didn't move it, but the clock moved it on its own because as I move around the clock and get closer to the next hour, the hour hand gets closer to that next hour too. Okay, so is it 4 o'clock? No, we're too smart to know that it's not 4 o'clock. It is still 3 o'clock because our numbers are in between the 3 and the 4. So right now, it is showing 3 o'clock. That's baby hour. See it? 3 o'clock because we're not at the 4 yet. And then I'm going to figure out what mama minutes was. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So what time is it that we get out of school? 3:35. We will check that on our answer choices and see if we got the right answer. Okay, we're going to do that now. Hey, we did it. If you look, the answer choice was there. Our answer, 3:35. Now, if we think about it, is that AM or PM? The answer is PM. Good job. We've done a problem together and we reviewed how to tell time. I just want to let you know that we're going to do one more problem together. And then you're going to have some Showbie practice and some IXL practice to do along with this. So your Showbie practice will be a set of 16 worksheets. Some of the worksheets are example posters, so you can doodle on them and help them use them to help you tell time, but other worksheets will have problems. So you'll get 16 problems, and you'll also use IXLQ in the math app on IXL to practice telling time. You can also do Timex practice, and I've already sent you a link on Epic to a new collection called Elapsed Time. So you can use all of those things to help you practice telling time. But what you do need to do is complete the Showbie worksheets, do some IXL practice, and watch the videos on Epic. Okay, for now, I can show you the app that I used for telling time on my iPad. This app, it's at the top here, is called Analog Clock Learning. So if you want to download that, Analog Clock Learning app can help you tell time. You can also use the Timex app or just the clock on the iPad because that's an option. Okay, so we're going to do one more problem together using my Analog Clock Learning app right here. And then we will be done and you can move on to practicing on Showbie. Problem 2 says, Ben went to see a movie that started at 11:20. It ended at 12:45. How long was the movie? A, 1 hour and 15 minutes. B, 1 hour and 65 minutes. C, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Or D, 1 hour and 25 minutes. This problem is different because it gives us the start time and it gives us the end time. What we have to do is figure out how much time has elapsed. So we'll do that now with my clock app as a practice. This problem is a little different. It gives us 2 times and asks us how much time has gone by in between those 2 times. So to do that, we're going to start at the beginning time, which was 11:20, and go to the end time, which was 12:45, and figure out how much time has passed. So to do that, we're going to have to do that in a few steps. We start by putting 11:20 on our clock. So I begin with baby hour. As always, this is baby hour. I begin by putting my baby hour in between the 11 and the 12. Okay, my mama minute would go to the 4 because I'm counting by 5. So if you look here, I'm counting by 5s every time. 5, 10, 15, 20. This is 11:20. Baby hour is in between the 11 and the 12. Mama minute is right on the 4 because I'm counting by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. So this is 11:20. Now I'm going to go to 12:45. When I'm doing elapsed time, I start with my hours. If I add 1 hour to 11:20, think about what time that would be. 1 hour to 11:20. 1 hour after 11:20 would be 12:20. So 12:20 would be right there. My minute hand, mama minute, would stay in the same place. So for this problem, we have baby hour in between the 12, mama minute at the 20. 1 hour has gone by. I'm trying to get to 12:45. Now, can I add another whole hour using baby hour to get to 12:45? No, I can't. If I add another hour, I'm at 1:20. I'm only trying to get to 12:45. So now this is when mama minute comes in. Okay? It's 12:20. It's been 1 hour, and I'm going to get to 12:45 by now counting minutes. So it's been 1 hour, and I'm going to start minutes until I get to 12:45. Now before I begin, I'm going to think about what spot on the clock my hand would be at 12:45. Let's do that together by counting by 5s on our clock. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay, so I'm going to bring my 4 all the way to the 9, my mama minute from the 4 to the 9. Let's count how many minutes it takes for us to get to 12:45. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. So to get to 12:45 from 11:20, first thing I did was my hours. How many hours did I add? The answer is 1. I added 1 hour. How many minutes did I add from the 4 to the 9? Let's count again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So my answer should be 1 hour and 25 minutes. I hope that's the same answer you got. Let's check and see if that's one of our answers. 1 hour and 25 minutes. It looks like we did it again. 1 hour and 25 minutes has passed on the clock. So our answer is D, 1 hour and 25 minutes. I hope you guys were able to follow along with that lesson. It is a quick review of what we already learned when we got to still be together in school. But elapsed time is important, and it's something that you will be doing in your own daily life in the future. So you need tons more practice with that. Please, now that you've seen the video, move on to your Showbie worksheets, to your IXLQ practice on math, and to your epic videos. All 3 of these things together will help you to really remember what we learned about elapsed time. So please get on Epic, watch the videos, read the books about elapsed time in the new collection that I sent you. Then do some worksheets on Showbie, and after that, you can do some IXL practice on Math Q. Okay, you can even rewatch this video if you need another look at elapsed time. This can be practice for you. So I hope that you understood everything. Please let me know if you have any questions.